Hello and welcome. Today I've got lots of jobs that I want to get on with, and the first one is to pull out some old crops that have gone over now and to plant some new ones in their place. So let's go and have a look at what I need to do. My first job is to plant the Swiss chard, and I have a handy little helper here all ready to go. Come on then, Anwen, let's dig these holes.
Okay.
We've dug the holes. You're going to put some of the chicken manure pellets in, Anwen?
Uh-huh.
Yep, go on then, sprinkle some into each hole.
Okay. Attend.
Come on, cover more than that.
Attend.
Yes, attend indeed.
Attend. Attend.
You're dropping more on the floor over there than in the holes.
And
We're not fertilising over there, over here.
attend.
This may take
Attend.
some time.
Attend.
Meanwhile, 2 hours later, we get on to planting them. I'll put the yellow one in the middle, love, because the yellow one will stand out a lot. That's it. Push it down really hard. That's it. Right into the hole we made.
This one too.
Yep, that one too.
Attend. Attend. Attend.
What do you put that one in there for? I put that one next to it.
Oopsies.
That one in there.
Okay.
Oh, you just can't get the staff these days. Yeah, push it all the way in. That's right. Push it all the way down and then cover it up. And then this last one here.
There's already some soil in there. This one was leaking.
It's so wet, love. Right. Excellent job. Picture perfect. Like, the next job I want to do is to cut away some of the dead foliage off this plant, and then wherever I've got some fruit that's set, as in here, I want to take off the rest of this vine along here, because I want all the energy to go into this fruit. So I'll have a little sort of rummage around and see what's occurring and how much fruit we need to, not fruit, but how much foliage we need to take off. There's another one here. I don't normally do this. I don't normally get around to doing this. So, for example, with this one here, I shall take the remainder, this big stem off here, and the same with sorry if the light is a bit dusky, it's quite early in the morning. And then with all this foliage here, I'm just going to take a lot of the lower leaves off so that the insects can get to the flowers. So I'll show you what haircut they've had when I'm done. They've had a slight haircut now. I didn't take too much off. I only took off what looked like it was dead and gone over, and with this one, these courgettes here, these look like they've got two parts to them really. They've got two sort of main stems, which I've never really seen on a courgette before, but essentially I've got some coming this way and some coming that way. And the same with that one over there. I've got this one coming up here, and then I've also got some coming out here. So there's going to be absolutely loads of fruit on that, I think. Harvested this, and there's 2 more there like that as well. The next things I need to plant up are, I've got collies and some cabbages to go in here. So I need to take out these old Chinese kale plants and the peas because they've gone over now. And I had planted some Savoy cabbages there, which you can see in there, but there's one missing from there. It got eaten, so I'll replace that with a greyhound cabbage, which is what they are there. And then my broccoli plants down here, these are all coming out, and my beetroot is going to go in there. I also want to put down some straw mulch over the celeriac, so I'll give it all a nice water and then I'll put the mulch down. Here are the collies and the cabbages all planted up, 2 cabbages in the middle and the rest are collies around the outside. I have this massive net to go over them, so I thought I'd show you what it's looking like before I put the net on, because sometimes it's a bit difficult to see through the netting, isn't it? So they look like strong, healthy plants, apart from this one here, but maybe it just needs a water because it was quite dry when I put it in. I have given it a water, so hopefully it'll bounce back now. After the broccoli was gone from this bed, I planted some of the beetroot. I didn't have as much beetroot as I thought I had, so I planted half the bed with beetroot and the other half with some lettuce. I think this is little gem lettuce. So we'll just see how that goes. It looks tiny at the moment. Normally I wouldn't plant it out at this size, but because there was half a bed going begging, I thought, well, let's get those lettuces in and see what happens. Another job that I need to get done today is to fix the roof on my polytunnel. Well, not polytunnel, cold frame I call it, and but I'm actually going to redesign the roof, so it's going to be a hooped cloche that goes on top, and that should give me more room underneath. So let's get on and get that done. I've done the hooped cloche. I just thought I'd show you how the melons are growing at the moment. Well, they seem to be doing well. There's one that's got sort of like a female on there, but I don't know whether it's been pollinated or not. And there's a couple like that. Similarly, there's a watermelon there. But every time I come along to sort of try and assist with pollination, the leaves are closed. So I'm obviously getting here too late in the day. Maybe I need to do it first thing in the morning. So I'll give it another go. I'll come back tomorrow and see if the flowers are open more, so I can try and pollinate some of these melons. And here is the hooped roof. I'll put that in place and I'll show you what it's like when I'm done. Here it is for the time being. I haven't hinged it on at the moment because I want to get some washers for the screws and the hinges so that it's easier to take off, because when I tried to remove it earlier, the screws wouldn't come out, so I want to get some washers to prevent that. But for the time being, I'm just going to tie some rope from there to there and back down, and do the same the other side, and that should hold it in place until I get those washers. So reasonably pleased with that. If I open it up a bit, you can see they're back there. That's kind of like as far as it can go before it starts pulling on that wood there. So on the fence. So I do need to put something soft on that wood, on the fence pole, as it was, not pole, fence post, what's the word, that will hopefully stop it from tearing. But I mean, I shouldn't need it to be any further open than I've got it at the moment, because this gives me enough room to go in there and do whatever I need to do, as it were. So yes, very pleased with this at the moment. Right, I'll just go and get some rope to tie down these edges before it gets blown away. Here it is, all in place. and finished for the time being until I get those hinges and washers. Another job I've just got on with is emptying my buckets. So we've got some new comfrey feed and some new nettle feed. So I've now filled the buckets again with nettles and comfrey, and I just need to put some water in, and then in a month's time we'll have more feed because these bottles will be gone by then. So I was glad to get that job done as well. For the harvest this week, I'm going to take this rather large cabbage, which is looking a bit worse for wear now, but it's very firm now, and I've noticed there are some eggs being laid on here, so I'll just take this out, and then there's no chance of it being eaten without me eating it. Similarly, a lot of this coriander seed has now dried on the plant, so I'll just snip that off there, and the same with the other bits. I'll just snip them off, put them in a bag until I have time to take them off these end bits here. I can do that of an evening. There are still some green ones there, and I think you can eat green coriander. I just don't think it lasts so long, so I'll have a look at preserving that, and I'll just take the green ones as well, and then that means I can put the purple sprout and broccoli in here. I thought I'd just show you this area before I put the netting on. I've stripped quite a lot of the leaves off. I'll give them to my chickens, and I've left these 2 coriander plants in place just because I haven't got enough time to harvest them before we go away on holiday. The sprouts, they are now sort of stretching out because everything was pushed down, so I've taken a lot of the broken leaves off, and hopefully they will recover, and by the time I come back off holiday they will be stretched up. And then those 4 purple sprout and broccoli I have just planted, they just need a water, and the other 4 are in, and there isn't like a huge difference between them by the look of it, but even if there is a little bit of a difference, it just means these might crop later, which, you know, the time they crop, you kind of want them to crop later, if you know what I mean, because it'll be during the I can't think what you call it now, but it's during sort of April and May time where not much is growing in the garden. So yes, very pleased with how it's looking so far. There was some butterflies in there, white cabbage butterflies. They had got in under the fleece netting because the sprouts were getting so big they were pushing the netting up anyway. So they got in, and I've sprayed them now with some spray called grazers, and hopefully they'll be okay. And here's the harvest for this week. I've got a massive cucumber, a few courgettes. I have had some yellow ones as well, but I had them earlier in the week. These are the first of the pongo beans. I didn't even realise I had some ready until I removed the cabbage, and then I saw them. The cabbage was hiding them, so that was great. I've only got the 1 tomato because I keep eating them straight off the tumbling toms at the front. Those are some not very well grown onions. They were in with the kale, but I thought, oh, it's time to bring them out. Some blackberries to go straight into the freezer. Beetroot. I've picked about 3 beetroot from the 3 beds each, so I've got about 9 or 10 beetroot. There's a few spring onions there. Just a small handful of carrots because I don't need that many. We're going away soon. This is the green coriander that I ended up getting in the end, and then in this bag that is the brown coriander, so I can sort the brown coriander out when I come back from my holiday. And finally We have some cucumbers after about 3 years of trying. They seem to have come back. So that's market more. Those two are from the greenhouse. They are, I think they're Merlin. They're either Merlin or Socrates. This is Space Saver, and those two are gherkins. I've also had all the soft fruit from the gooseberries, josterberries, tayberries, and black currants from around the front. So that's all done as well. Well, that's it from me for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll hopefully catch up with you when I come back from my holidays. So take care everybody, and all I can say about the work today is lovely job.